came this little light bulb moment and a goal of mine that I put in the back of my head that the entire rest of this year I'm going to be working towards getting out by the end of the year, and it'll be Croatia where I go.
Steve moved to Croatia in January 2021 on a digital nomad visa.
Living in Croatia is much cheaper than living in New Jersey or New York, for sure. The first few months I was here, I wasn't spending my money on much outside of like groceries and occasional drinks out and things like that. It was winter, it was cold. Now that it's summer, I'm spending more, but it's still within that narrow confines of like food and a little bit more travel related expenses now. My phone bill every month was around $30 in the US, generally cheaper than most people's. Here, it's cheaper, it's about $12. As far as health insurance goes, I pay $65 a month. I know the average in the US is north of 400 a month. If I'm going to go out for, let's say, a lunch, a nice meal, drink, and that'll be about $10, I'll try not to eat a ton of meals out. I'm spending a little bit more on experiences, going to see things, going to sort of get in amongst the country, feel the texture of the streets and stuff like that. I walk everywhere. I don't take public transportation much. I take Uber occasionally too, but like I make a point to have my apartment be as close to the amenities, facilities, grocery stores, cafes. I try to be as close to sort of the center of everything as I can. I've always been pretty frugal with how I spend. Either that's a byproduct of how I grew up, or the fact that I worked in the ways and places that I worked that weren't financially sort of always stable.
His frugal lifestyle in the States helped him save over $70K.
As far as any financial obligations and ties to the US, I have no debt. Any credit cards I have, I pay off multiple times per month. Since I've been here, I use only local currency. So I'll either pull out of the ATM or usually I just use credit cards everywhere. I use no dollars. For a living, I'm a writer, video producer, and photographer. I've been working in video production for about 10 years, and writing is actually new. That's something that came about during the pandemic. So writing's only been about a year. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to travel because of how I was raised. My parents would always go on these family vacations, so I thought what you're supposed to do with your free time when you have free time is basically go travel somewhere. I was in Croatia in 2019 for about a month, and I knew it was a place I already liked. It sort of captivated my imagination. It's just amazing mix of like natural beauty and wonderful cities, great warm people, and there's a pace of life different than the States.
Steve was one of the first digital nomads to enter Croatia on its digital nomad program, but the process did not come without struggles.
Croatia is fantastic, but of course it has its downsides. I live in a majorly touristic city. There are a lot of people here. From crowded streets and packed beaches to longer waits for just about everything, comes with a lot of annoyances and can be overwhelming at times. Another thing is that government and the bureaucracy here are famously tough to navigate. And while my personal experience was largely without hiccups, the general consensus is you never know what to expect.
I got here January, beginning of the year is when it was official that you can actually apply for this permit. The permit costs about $100 for all the processing and fees associated with it. First, you have to show your proof of income for having at least $33,000 in your bank account, or you have to be making $2,750 per month. The next step was having proof of employment and having proof of continuing income. Step 3 would be proving that I had some type of health insurance. Fourth step was you had to prove that you were staying somewhere. And the fifth step was having the background check from the FBI. The one thing I needed that I didn't have, which presented a lot of problems because it's not the easiest thing to get fingerprints in Croatia. The US Embassy here doesn't do it. So I had to find a way to get fingerprints, send it to the FBI, have the FBI do a background check, and then get that back to me, and then get it to the Croatian government. Initially, when I first came, I was very worried about money because I had just started sort of making money as a writer, and I just had a few video sort of projects come back. I was worried I was not going to have enough work, so I started accepting every single writing job that people were offering. When I arrived and looked at my calendar, I had zero free time. All I did was sit in front of my computer and write. It made me much more comfortable. But getting here initially, I had savings, but you don't want to dip into that.
Once his visa was in place, he established a work routine in his new neighborhood in Croatia.
You know, the digital nomad thing feels exotic and maybe different, or like an interesting, strange way to live. up being pretty